Alright, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone that rule well, that taught us truth, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. It's Brother Yakao. Come with another lesson, and no way you'll be edified. And today's lesson is on the tribe of Reuben. And we're going to go into some history here as well, because and to my shame, I haven't really done a lot of videos on the tribe of Reuben. The tribe of Reuben are the Seminole Indians, alright, in America. And it's a very complex history, and it's a history that they've tried to bury, And one of the reasons why I tried to bury it is because, the white man's plans didn't work out the way he wanted it to. Alright, but it all goes back to prophecy. Alright, now, if you go to Genesis 49, and you look at the top here, this is Jacob talking to his sons. Alright, and he's sitting down and saying, listen, this is what's going to happen to you, in these last days. And we are in those times now. Alright, and he talks about the tribe of Reuben, because Reuben was his firstborn. Alright, and this is all prophecy, and it's an amazing history as well, because anything that this devil tries to hide, it's basically he's done his work, but what is bringing him and his wicked empire down is something called truth. Okay, and we are a part of that truth, man, and a part of that beautiful holy godly movement, alright, to destroy the lies of the devil and to set the elect free. Okay, this is Genesis 49 and 3, and this is on Reuben, right, with the Seminole Indians. Alright, Reuben, thou art my firstborn. Alright, my might, alright, and the beginning of my strength. Now, when you have a son, let's say you get married, you have a woman, all right, and you have kids, 9 times out of 10, you'll want it to be a boy, The reason why, because the man carries the seed, all right? The man carries the seed, carries the name, carries the legacy, the inheritance, all right? So that is your strength, man, all right? So Reuben, thou art my firstborn, and the beginning of my strength, all right, and the excellency of dignity, all right. And when you look into the Seminole Indians' history, all right, in particular, we're gonna show you some clips, because remember, there's a complex picture back then, all right. Babylon the Great, which is in America, is the land of our captivity, all right. So at the time you had the Seminole Indians, who are the tribe of Reuben, you had Gad, who is the people you call Native Americans today, and they had different tribes and so forth. But at this time, they had something called the civilized tribes, all right? And you'll see it in this clip that I'm going to show you. I can't remember them offhand. But these civilized tribes were the ones that actually gave up or sold out to the white man, where he did something called boarding schools, Indian re-education schools, all right, to kill the Indian in them, all right, and they assimilated into his religion, which is Christianity, all right, mainly Catholicism at the time, all right, his laws, everything, even marrying crackers, man, all right. I think they're called the five civilized tribes. There you go. Yep, the 5 civilized tribes are Cherokee, all right, Cherokee, and a lot of these Edomites, these devils, they always say that, oh, I'm part of Native America, I'm Cherokee, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, all right, Muskogee, all right, and Seminole Nations, all right, and it's just Seminoles, all right. We're not a part of these. Most of them were a part of, not a part of these so-called civilized tribes. All right, because the majority of Seminole Indians, who are the tribe of Reuben, did not collaborate with this devil. All right, Gad did. Gad made 400 peace treaties with this devil, and this man broke every single one. Every single one. All right, but a lot of these tribes here, including some of the Seminoles, all right, basically assimilated themselves. All right, and you look at some of the images there. They had very European ways of living. I think it was called the Indian. What was it called? Indian residential. That's it. Residential. That's it. Indian residential schools. That's it. They put them in here, these residential schools, basically to kill the Indian in them. All right, to assimilate them into white society. And they were molested in there and all this kind of stuff. They accepted Christianity. They cut their hair because many of them had long hair. You know, so they're cutting their hair, taking kids away. I mean, it was really cruel, man. You know, it was really cruel what they were doing. But when it talks about hair, all right, tribe of Reuben, excellency and dignity. Many of the Seminole Indians who are the tribe of Reuben did not make treaties with this devil, man. All right, and you're going to see it in the clips that I show, even when Israelites who are from the southern kingdom, mainly Judah, Benjamin, Levi, but mainly Judah, were enslaved and they needed help. The Seminoles, who are the tribe of Reuben, helped them. All right, and many of those so-called black jakes, who are from the tribe of Judah, started mixing with their brothers and sisters. I remember they didn't even know that they're brothers and sisters at the time, because we've been discontinued from our heritage. Jeremiah 17:4. But many of them helped. All right, those slaves, man, that were coming down south trying to get into Florida, you know, for protection, man, where the tribe of Reuben and the Seminole Indians were. All right, they didn't make a lot of treaties like how the tribe of Gad did. You know, that's why they're the excellency of dignity. They never gave up. All right, they never made. They did what it says in James. They resisted the devil, but this devil didn't flee, man. Okay, so that's why he's excellency of dignity and excellency of power. Great warriors. All right, and you're going to see that in this lesson. Verse 4, unstable as water. All right, and that means they were nomadic. Okay, and they still are nomadic. And if you look at their history, you know, we're going to show you, it shows you that they were always moving from one place to the other. Why do you have to move from one place to the other? Because the devil was on the loose, man. The devil invaded that country, took it over, was slaughtering our people. All right, so they had to move from one place to another. All right, unstable as water. Thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed. All right, then defilest thou it when he went up to my couch. All right, and that's talking about what? That's talking about this incident here in Genesis. For the purpose of the time, I'll just read it to you. Genesis 35 and 22. And it came to pass, while Israel dwelt in the land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine. All right, his father's concubine. All right, so that's what Reuben did. Okay, so because of that, the Lord said, look, you're not going to excel in your ways. And that comes from not just the progenitor of the Reubenites is who? All right, Reuben himself. All right, but he had children and he brought forth a nation, which is the Israelites from the tribe of Reuben. All right, so that filters down to them. All right, they're unstable as water. They're always moving, and they will not excel. All right, and the reason why they would not excel is because of what Reuben did. Can't be sleeping with your father's concubine. All right. So, and you can read all this for yourself, because this goes into all the tribes and what will happen to them in the last days. And that shows you, and this proves that this Bible is a real book. All right. Now, what does it say about the tribe of Gad, who are the Native Americans? You know? And by the way, they made 400 peace treaties with this devil, and he didn't keep one. All right. Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, and that troop was the U.S. cavalry, but he shall overcome at the last. All right. And that's what's going to happen, because of what these wicked devils done. They're going to have to get double, all right, of the punishment that we got, man. All right. If you think the Lord was mad at us, yes, he was. You know, he was mad at our people. Okay. But if you think that the Lord is going to allow all this stuff, wickedness, to be on us and not get them, all right, and not let them pay double, no, they ain't getting away with nothing. Okay, they're not getting away with nothing at all. So God is going to overcome at the last, when all these heathen nations, especially the so-called white man, all right, is our slaves when Yahushua comes back. Now I want to play this. This is a very telling video about the tribe of Gad and what this devil was doing. Have a look at this, man. All right, and have a look at the arrogancy and the disingenuousness of this devil's forked tongue. All right, and that was a good saying that they said. A lot of the Gadites said, you know, the white man speaks with a forked tongue. All right, and what is a forked tongue? Who has a forked tongue? A serpent. You know, they were right. The Lord put the Spirit in them to say that. All right, let's play this.
Sitting Bull requested this council. We await his words.
Take your soldiers out of here. They scare the game away.
Very well, sir. Tell me then, how far away should I take my men?
You must take them out of our lands.
What precisely are your lands?
These are the lands where my people lived before you whites first came.
I don't understand. We whites were not your first enemies. Why don't you demand back the land in Minnesota where the Chippewa and others forced you from years before?
The Black Hills are sacred land given to my people by Wakantonka.
Very convenient to cloak your claims in spiritualism. And what would you say to the Mormons and others who believe that their God has given to them Indian lands in the West?
I would say they should listen to Wakantonka.
No matter what your legends say, you didn't sprout from the plains like the spring grasses, and you didn't coalesce out of the ether. You came out of the Minnesota woodlands, armed to the teeth, and set upon your fellow man. You massacred the Kiowa, the Omaha, the Ponca, the Oto, and the Pawnee without mercy. And yet you claim the Black Hills as a private preserve bequeathed to you by the Great Spirit.
And who gave us the guns and powder to kill our enemies? And who traded weapons to the Chippewa and others who drove us from our home?
Chief Sitting Bull, the proposition that you were a peaceable people before the appearance of the white man is the most fanciful legend of all. You were killing each other for hundreds of moons before the first white stepped foot on this continent. You conquered those tribes, lusting for their game and their lands, just to...
Hey, oh man, this devil. Let me stop right there. Now, is there proof of this, what he's saying? There is proof of this. And the proof is in the scriptures. And the reason why is because of the curses. Alright? And remember, that is not our homeland. So if you're Seminole Indian, you're watching this, or, you know, you're a black Seminole, or you're a Native American, we have to understand that's not your land. Israel is your land. All right, you migrated from the Middle East to that continent, America. It's in the second address, 13 and 40. All right, but one of the curses, because we disobeyed the Lord, all right, and didn't keep His commandments, was Deuteronomy 28 and 54, and where it says, all right, and I'll get to the point. All right, it's talking about our men. His eye shall be evil toward his brother. All right, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. So before the white man came to America, were the Gadites, all right, and the Reubenites fighting each other in different tribes? Yes, they were. But that doesn't justify the so-called white man who is not, who wasn't even invited there, all right, to dictate anything. That shows you he's a devil, man. All right? But because of this curse, unfortunately, we were. It's the same with Israelites in Europe at the time in the Middle Ages. Even at that time, 1600s, 1700s, all right, Jakes in Europe were fighting each other. Use your religion. Or in the guise of religion. Okay? Let's keep going.
As we have now conquered you for no less noble a cause.
This is your story of my people.
This is the truth, not legend. Crazy Horse has surrendered with his entire band. And by his surrender, he says to you and your people that you are defeated. And by ceding the Black Hills to us, so say Red Cloud and the other chiefs, who demand that you end this war and take your place on the reservation.
Red Cloud is no longer a chief. He is a woman you have mounted and had your way with. Do not speak to me of Red Cloud!
I suppose you are the only chief then. Sitting Bull is king of all the Indians. Humility is one of the 4 virtues of a Sioux chief. Sitting Bull shows his true nature now.
I have had my say with you.
And I have had my say with you.
Then we will have a fight.
So be it.
You see how proud this devil was in that clip? Wow, man. He was proud, man. It was just exactly what the Bible says about this devil. Proud. But yes, if you look into the history, and he's over-exaggerating it, but yes, our people in America, even before the white man came, they were having, wars with each other over, certain things. All right, but that doesn't justify for what he did, I used to Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. All right, and we know who this is talking about. But the just shall live by his faith, and that's the elect. Verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, all right, his philosophies, his doctrines, all right, and one of his doctrines is lying, and that's what he did, all right, and you're going to see that in this history that we're going to show you, man, with the tribe of Reuben, and also Jake from, who are like Judah, Benjamin, Levi, who went down to where the tribe of Reuben was. Yea, because he transgresseth by wine his philosophies, he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, and that's him, man, who enlargeth his desire as hell. And when he comes, he brings nothing but hell. And hell is the condition on earth. Right now, the tribe of Reuben, all right, and Gad in particular, they're in hell, man. All right, we'll show you that. All right, they ain't living good today. Who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death. Death. And that's what he brings. And cannot be satisfied. Yeah, he had most of America, but he wanted all of it. Why can't you just, hey, let's share the land? No, he can't do that. He's never satisfied. but he gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And right now, we are in the hands of our enemies. Alright? And they're your enemies, man. Whether you accept it or not. See how proud that devil was, man? Okay? Now, we're going to take a look at this. This is a video I came across, which was fantastic information about this topic. Alright? How Jakes, who were living in the South, enslaved, went for freedom in Florida, and tribe Reuben helped them, and they actually started marrying each other and so forth, and this is our history, man. Okay. I love history. They're the best films. Like when you watch these Monday films, yeah, it's cool, but some of the best films that you will ever watch is history films about true stories, and this is what you're going to get, true story. Alright, let's play this.
Oh, Abigail, I won't.
What do you mean, Abraham? You're scaring me.
We've been slaves long enough now. I won't spend another day under the whip of these crackers.
Escape? Where can we go? You know they'll kill us. They'll kill us dead.
Florida. I heard them say it's free there. It's a chance, Abigail.
Florida? It's so far, Abraham, and it's dangerous.
I'll kill anybody that gets in our way. Staying here is death. We deserve better. You deserve better. We deserve a life free of these crackers.
Live free or die trying.
Live free, die trying. Them, along with several other enslaved Africans, made their way down to Spanish Florida. They fought slavers, bounty hunters, and many were recaptured and lost their lives along the way. But finally, several made it to freedom, at least for a while, in the swamplands of Spanish Florida.
During the same time period, there were several civilized indigenous populations scattered across these lands.
The term civilized tribes was applied to the major Native American tribes that took the bad medicine of the white man. They were classified as civilized because they had adopted the attributes of European culture, becoming Christians, sending their children off to re-education institutions, market participation, intermarriage with white Americans, and,
wait for it,
chattel slavery practices, including the purchase of enslaved Africans. Little did they know that the cotton reservations that they had would become cotton plantations after they were stolen and seized by the same white people whom they were emulating.
Hey guys, sorry for the shaky video in advance, but we are on our way to a town called Mosquis, and this is another town here in Mexico. But this town is the closest town we could get to Nacimientos, which is the town that a tribe, actually the Seminoles from the USA, kind of came over here to seek refuge during times of slavery. They are warrior people, they are a fierce people, there are some survivors, and it's not a whole lot of them there. So we're hoping that we're able to make some contact.
We've been exploring stories of how Africans made it here, and it's a variety of ways, but this community that we're going to is a completely different story and history of how they made it here.
So we're just praying for some favor as we go so we can show you guys, and so we can learn about the real deal here in Mexico and black people and their migration here. So see y'all there.
Yes, my name is.
And what's beautiful about what he said it's a warrior people, and he's right, and you'll see it. I'll keep playing this clip has a lot of great history that the so-called white man doesn't want you to know all this stuff, but it's in their blood. All right. If you go to First Chronicles 5:18, all right. Was it 5:18? All right. It says the sons of Reuben and the Gadites. Reuben is who? Seminole Indians. Gadites is who? Native Americans. and half the tribe of Manasseh, all right, Indians of Cuba, all right, are valiant men, men able to bear buckler and sword, and shoot with the bow, and skillful in war, all right. So the Reubenites have it in their blood. Same with the Gadites and Manasseh, but we'll concentrate on Reuben and Gad at the moment. All right, they have that in their blood. Back then, they were warriors. You know, when we were in our own land, they were warriors, man. Okay, so that's in their blood. So what he said is right. He said they're a warrior people. Absolutely factual. Let's keep going. Keep learning.
Wendy Goodlow. I am a Black Seminole, and more specifically, I'm a descendant of the Seminole Negro Indian Scouts, which were the group of men that joined the military and, you know, fought for the military in the U.S. from 1870 to 1914. So I grew up in Bracketville around that history.
Imagine being